I never got to experience what I observed my father do 3 times: serve on a congregation's pastor or associate pastor nominating committee. The closest I came was over 5 years ago when I was the Presbytery liaison with this church's P&C that helped God bring Marvin and this church together. In my ministry, I only interviewed with 5 P&Cs. For 3, I had 1 meeting. For 2, I was called and installed. My temporary, part-time, fill-in-the-holes pastoral care call with you was through the session, not the congregation. While my timing and God's timing don't always match up, my desire to serve this way for up to 1 year passed that mark last month. What I anticipated being many in-home visits, homebound communions, and holding hands in prayer has become a very different contract than Marvin, the session, and I initiated. As I believe everyone does, we have done the best we can, given our circumstances and the grace and love of God. As I've been discovering what God has in store for me next, I celebrate what God is doing in your midst. This congregation elected an associate pastor nominating committee that fully represented your church to seek the person God already had in mind to be your associate pastor. Now that person is becoming a reality. You as a congregation can meet and greet John online Saturday afternoon, be led in worship on Sunday, and then vote to confirm the call of an associate pastor to serve God and care for you with energy, intelligence, imagination, and love. In the Presbyterian Church, a calling to ordain pastoral ministry is a 3-way call. An individual's response to God's calling in his or her life, the voice of a congregation, and the voice of the connectional church. This Sunday afternoon, our confirmation class will be studying being involved in the fellowship of the church. We are reflecting on 1 Corinthians 12 about the variety of gifts God gives us, and how we are all the parts of the body needed to love and serve the Lord. As you discern the incredible gifts God's Spirit has bestowed and the calling that Jesus Christ has given, I will be continuing to pray with you. Almost 5 years ago, in March of 2016, I was invited to fill in one Sunday as your preacher. I preached about this church waiting in the wilderness for God to bring a new pastor to you. While my sermons are only meant to be heard once, I reread that sermon this morning, and I wondered if some of you might find it meaningful today. The file's attached. What gifts have you been given by God? What do you look forward to in calling your associate pastor? How are you involved as a member of the body of Christ?